Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard to decide who gets to stay out and who has to go back into the basement. No! Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So ever since I did my doll tour video, a lot of people have been asking me about the dolls that I mentioned are in my basement. So today I decided I will liberate the dolls from my basement. So let's take a look. So this is how I usually store, when I have dolls that I really don't know what to do with. This is kind of how I usually store them. This is really the main bin. I think there might be more down there, honestly, but this is like the main one. I think this is mostly OMG dolls, but we're gonna take a look at it to see what's in there, because I put these down there probably over a year ago at this point, like maybe a little longer actually, and I have a terrible memory. So my only knowledge that this is OMG dolls is just because I know that I bought a lot of OMG dolls and then don't display them. So what's the best way to do this? I have no idea. It's gonna be hard to film. Let's get into it. So when I store dolls, just the way that I like to do it, I know there's like 1,000 million ways to store dolls. I like to use these kinds of clear containers. I think they work really well because you can see, like, you might not be able to tell like what doll it is, but you can see like there's dolls in here. And then they're also, I guess, waterproof. This is a Sterilite container. I guess we'll find out now how moisture proof they are, because these dolls have been in the basement for like over a year and my basement is not super temperature controlled. So let's find out what they look like. The other thing I like to do, you can probably see it on top here, I like to put, this is basically just like a sheet of, it's like unbleached muslin, like cotton muslin fabric that you can get at like a Joann's or something. I literally just I have a bolt of this and I just tear a piece off and I put it between each layer. It just kind of helps keep the dolls a little bit nicer, I think. I don't know. I know some people like to wrap them all individually. I just don't have the time. Right off the bat, it's really random. A lot of random stuff in here on top of the doll box. So it looks like there's a happy birthday or a birthday wishes Barbie. I think she was the 2021 birthday wishes Barbie. I think I bought this doll like on a whim one day, and I was like, why did I buy that? And that's why she's in there, because it's just, I don't really collect those kinds of dolls usually. She's like the only birthday wishes Barbie I have. There is the Disney Styles Hasbro Cruella de Vil doll. I think I showed one of these in box in another video. I actually have two of these, even though I don't like her at all. But I recently saw somebody on Facebook had taken this dress and put it on a Rainbow High doll. So apparently this will fit on a Rainbow High doll, and it actually looked really good. I think they put it on Heather, if I remember correctly. Or Shadow High, I guess. Heather, yeah. Okay, so this is where things start to get a little bit stranger. So I have here a Na Surprise doll. I think this was the only Na Surprise doll I ever purchased. I don't really collect these. They're not really for me. They're like fully fabric dolls, if you're not familiar with these. I bought her because she was pink and I didn't really like her, so that's why she's in this box. So there she is. Okay, these dolls are a little stranger. So I do not collect these kinds of dolls usually. These, I believe, are a Japanese brand of doll. Can I even remember what these dolls are called? Honestly, this hat doesn't stay on, but I remember buying these like on a whim once again. These weren't super cheap either. I feel like I got these on Amazon for like 40 bucks or something. Their outfits are kind of crazy. That's what kind of drew me into them. I was like, oh, they look kind of interesting. There's a lot of like layers and everything's asymmetrical. They feel very much like Final Fantasy characters or something. This one does have, this is actual like beading all over her outfit. So they're actually kind of detailed. These are pretty cool dolls. I just don't really usually collect these kinds of like Japanese dolls. So I kind of bought them on a whim, and then I didn't really have a great place to display them. So they just ended up in storage. But they're really cool. I think they're called like Fortune Days or something. I don't know. I would have looked it up before I started making this video, but I didn't remember that these were in here. I honestly didn't remember that these even existed until I just saw them right now. So it looks like the rest of this is probably mostly MGA dolls that were released in the past like 2 years or so. Mermaids. I'm not a mermaids kind of person, but I did buy all of series 1. So I think that's what's in here. Yeah, so here's this one. I don't remember any of their names. These are really pretty. I mean, the thing about mermaids is that the dolls themselves are really gorgeous. It was just like the quality of the dolls themselves was really what was really lackluster. And I remember these weren't super cheap either. I think these retailed at like 30 something dollars, like almost $40 a piece maybe, if I remember correctly. I could definitely be wrong. It's been a while since these originally came out. This is series 1 of Mermaids. You know, I think these are one of those dolls that maybe one day I'll look back on them and like really like that they're in my collection, but I remember buying them and being so disappointed with their like hollow plastic tails and everything. I don't know. They're not bad. They're just like, I thought they were a little overpriced. This one's really cool. She has these really thick micro braids. I love a lot of things about these dolls. They just like, at the end of the day, they weren't as good as I wanted them to be, and that's why they ended up in storage. Also, I don't have a great place to display these, honestly. Like, these kind of take up a lot of space. They're kind of hard to display. This one's got little chunks of hair hanging off of it. This specific type of hair that they use, I like it. I like a lot of things about it. It's just hard to manage sometimes when they use so much of it. I did like that they did like really, really, really long curly hair. I thought that was a good choice. It's just that the practicality of this, like the other thing is these are supposed to be able to stand up on their own and they couldn't. That was another thing that was really annoying, was that they marketed them as if like they're just gonna stand on their tails, and they don't really do that. It's not really a thing. This one's one of my favorites though. I really liked her. It's very pretty. Their faces were so gorgeous in this line. They have the inset eyes. I would be interested in using one of their heads on like a rebody or whatever. Like putting their heads on a more human body. Now we're gonna get into the OMG dolls. I know a lot of my OMG collectors really wanted to see my OMG doll collection, so I guess that's what we're about to do. So I also want to just say really quickly, I really like OMG dolls. I don't have enough space to display everything, and for some reason, like the OMG dolls, they just don't really make the cut. Like when I look at like Monster High and my Rainbow High dolls and my Disney dolls and my Barbies and my Integrity dolls, it's like something has to be put in storage because I just don't have the space for every single thing I own to be displayed. So currently it's the OMG dolls. Will that change at some point? Maybe. It certainly could. So the way I stored them, I actually did just leave them on the stands. This is not the most space efficient way to store them, but I knew that I could fit them all into one box even if I left them on the stands. So this one is, okay, so here's the thing. I don't know any of their names. She's really cute. They're really cute. I really like these. I just don't have the space. I bought these at a time where I didn't have like as many, like all the Integrity Toys dolls and the Monster High collector dolls and everything. I didn't have as many of those kinds of things. I only had like a handful. So like it didn't seem like a big deal to keep buying all these OMG dolls because I was like, yeah, I have tons of space, whatever. And then it's like as my collection grew and I got more valuable dolls that I liked a lot more, these kind of just like, they just kind of got put in storage. These sunglasses I think actually belong to the other girl. They're all kind of like mixed in here together. Yeah, I think these go on her. Yeah, that's actually where these go. I'm pretty sure. This is the ABBA doll. The thing I love about OMG is that they do have all these like pop culture references in their doll lines. Oh, I love this doll. The skateboard. This is gonna be rough. I love this doll. I think actually, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna pick out some that I'm probably gonna take back out of storage. He gives like big like transgender vibes. I'm pretty sure that's the whole point of him. Like he literally has pronouns, like he has his pronouns on his sleeve. Also his color palette is like the colors of the transgender flag. They're like pink and baby blue. So yeah, I love him. He's really cool. He's really cool. We'll put him over here because he's gonna stay out actually. The other problem I had with OMG was there was a lot of times where I bought some just to complete a set, and that was a mistake because there are so many OMG dolls. I know that there are OMG completionists out there. I couldn't do it, especially because I'm already a Rainbow High completionist. So yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. This one was definitely one I just bought to complete a set. This is one of the travel dolls, I think, if I remember correctly. She was in the set with the Britney Spears doll, which obviously I had to get the Britney Spears doll. But this one I was like, she's not my favorite. I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of controversial takes about OMG dolls and people are gonna come for me. In a perfect world, I would have these all displayed in like the most beautiful way possible. I just don't know how I would do it. Like I don't know where I would put them. Maybe I can squish over some of those Monster High dolls that I have on that shelf over there. So this is the Sandy. This is the Sandy from Greece. I do remember her. I don't know where the other one is. Tony? Was that his name? Tony? She's really cute. I actually really like her. So a lot of their hair is going to be a little messed up because they've been in a box, but her hair is actually not horrible for being in a box for over a year. Okay, yeah, there's no smell. I was a little worried because my basement is not like the most temperature or moisture controlled. It can get pretty wet down there, especially in spring and fall. So I was a little concerned, but I'm happy to report that it seems like these are pretty good moisture sealed boxes. These are this like Sterilite, like generic ones that I think Walmart sells, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Groovy Babe doll. This doll, actually, she was one of my favorites, like way back in the day. And they just reproduced her, I think. So she was really hard to get for a while. I remember I bought her on eBay a little bit over retail price because she was a really popular one. Her hair is getting crazy. Her hair is a little crazy. Her hair also, one of the things I didn't like about this doll in the end was that her hair is really sparsely rooted, and it's this like, I think her hair is like blacklight activated, so it does glow in the dark if you have a blacklight, which is pretty cool, but because of that, it's like very thin, and it like you can see right to her scalp in certain parts of her head, which kind of annoyed me. Otherwise though, really cool outfit, very like mod vibes. I believe this is one of the OMG Queens? Was that what they were called? These were not that old. These didn't come out that long ago. I feel like I just saw these on shelves like moments ago. If I'm not mistaken, this doll was supposed to be inspired by Rihanna. I feel like she's missing something. I think there was an additional part to her dress that I took off because I didn't like it, maybe? I feel like she's missing something. That's the other thing. I have no idea what is in and is not included here because I store some of my doll clothes separately. So if I ever wanted to like sell these or anything, it would be a nightmare because I don't even know what goes in like half of these sets. I just kind of like did whatever I wanted with them at the time and then like put them in storage, so. She's really cute though. The hairstyle on this one, incredible. You don't usually see a lot of styling with the micro braid hairstyle. I don't remember what this hairstyle is called, but it is really cool to see styling of the micro braids more so than just like they have micro braids and that's it. So one of the things I've always loved about the OMG dolls is that the simplicity of the doll itself, like they're all the same head sculpt, right? So they don't have to do a lot of like work on the actual sculpting portion. So all of the budget goes into like the makeup and then the hairstyling and the outfits. So they're really cool and detailed. Sorry if you want to buy any of these dolls and I'm not telling you what they're called because I truly don't know. So if you have questions about who these dolls are, I'm sure you can probably ask in the comments and somebody will be able to answer. I don't know if that somebody will be me though, but I'll try my best. This is Lady Diva. I do remember her. She's one of the original 4. She's kind of unforgettable. She's also been reproduced multiple times. She's pretty cool. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she's kind of like inspired by Lady Gaga, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if Lady Gaga's ever worn this, but I think just by the name, I could be wrong. But she was one of the original 4, and I feel like the original 4 were like Beyonce, Lady Gaga. The Neonlicious one was the girl from Paramore, right? And then I can't remember who is the other, Swags? Is that her name? Something like that? I don't remember who she was inspired by. Also, these seem to be in here in no specific order, probably literally just how I had them displayed on the shelf. Don't remember who this girl is. This could be anybody. She's really cool looking though, and she has this really cool, she has flocking, but it's like in like leopard prints, and then she does have long hair as well. It's sort of like a mohawk style. Very cool. She's got a lot going on. I will be honest, part of the reason I don't really like to display my whole OMG collection is because I like when my collection's displayed in like a really cohesive way, and OMG dolls in general, while they usually look pretty cool on their own, when you put a bunch of them together, it's like very chaotic because there's just a lot going on with these dolls. Like each individual doll might have like 5 to 10 different colors in that doll's color palette. So then when you put a bunch of them together, it just looks insane. This is one of the special edition dolls, Splash Beauty, I think. Was that her name? She's sort of like mermaid inspired. Ooh. These doll stands have so many pieces and they all kind of like fall off all over the place. Yeah. Never mind. But anyway, I think this is Splash Beauty. I think that was her name. Really cool doll. I think some of their doll stands are very inconsistent, much like every MGA doll that ever comes to the doll stand. I think, if I remember correctly, her hair is like color change. What does it change into? I don't remember, but she was a special edition, so I think she had like some sort of color change element to her, if I remember correctly. I don't know if I ever tried it. It was probably water related since she's like a mermaid inspired doll, I would assume. I'm guessing. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this is another one of the queens, the OMG queens. This one's pretty crazy. Some of their outfits get really crazy in the OMG Dolls. Very cool though. A lot of cool like competing elements, like competing elements and like that kind of contrast, the sort of problem patterns can be kind of jarring to look at, but I think it's really interesting the way that they do it. What's interesting about her hair is that she has this pink hair in it, but it's like crimped for some reason. They only crimped the pink hair. I also don't love the way they do the OMG bangs. I know that that's like a style choice, but a lot of times they'll do these bangs where it's just like a handful of hairs over their giant foreheads. The outfits are just incredible though. I mean, look at that outfit. There's so many elements to it. It's maybe a little bit too much for my taste, I think, but I do like the idea of it. I like what they're going for. The sort of like geometric patterns on top of the different colors. It's just like colors on colors on colors. It's also pink, so I can be really forgiving of like a sort of garish color palette if there's pink involved. Ooh, I liked this one a lot. I remember she was one of my favorites. Oh, her hair is busted. Her hair is busted. She might come back out too. Her bangs. She needs some help. She needs a little bit of help. She's been in this box for a long time. But this is, I believe, Galaxy Babe or something. Really cool doll. She does have a gun, which is wild. She has like a laser gun. She kind of gives me like Barbarella or like Rocky Horror Picture Show vibes. I just really like that she's sort of like this robotic future, like sci-fi laser gun wielding person. Just very cool. What's her face look like? Oh, her face is cool too. She has this cool mask, but her face is actually really cool under it too. I think she's gonna stay out. I think she's gonna make her way back into my actual collection, because I remember liking her a lot. I'm assuming she ended up in storage just purely out of like space reasons, but we're gonna but we're gonna find a way to fit her into my collection again. So she'll go over here for right now. And I think she was a part of the OMG movie, big movie, surprise movie, or whatever it was called. Movie. They said movie in the title like 18 times. Oh my God, this was one, I remember wanting this one for like a while, and I didn't get her for a long time until she went on sale. Because I tend to buy OMG Dolls on sale. Even when I was buying a ton of them, I usually wait till they go on sale. Oh God, she is. She needs some love, that's for sure. She has like a tulle skirt and it kind of got crumpled up a little bit in storage. Her hat also won't stay on. This is I feel like the quintessential Lady Gaga doll. This is like the OMG Lady Gaga doll. This is, I think, very clearly inspired by Lady Gaga. Maybe I'm wrong. But to me, I was like, oh, Lady Gaga. And that's why I wanted her. But I didn't buy her for a long time. I feel like, I could be wrong. I feel like she was like a little bit more expensive or something. The Rock Band dolls, I think, were like a little pricier than some of the others. She's really cool though. She even has like the gravity heels. OMG shoes are so cool sometimes. Like, not all the time, but I feel like a lot of times they're really cool. She also comes with this like huge prop, this like musical instrument situation. If I'm saying the references wrong, please correct me. I don't know any of their names. I'm kind of assuming what they're referencing because it's just what it seems like to me, but maybe I'm wrong. This one I believe is Beyonce, right? She even has like the metal hand and everything. I mean, this gives me big Beyonce vibes. Maybe I'm wrong. She also comes with this cool little... Are they swapped? No, I think this was hers. They both come with these like cool guitars. The detail in her outfit is so cool. These are like actual chains. Like, on a Playline doll, they're giving like actual metal chains for detail. Isn't that cool? Oh, she looks so good. This is really making me wish I had the space to display all of them. Because I could do a really cool OMG doll display with all of these. Like, really. I have a lot of OMG dolls. As I suspected, I think the rest of this is OMG dolls. Because we're getting down... We've got a couple more layers to go. But it looks like they're all OMG. What's her name? What is her name? Skater Cutie or something? I don't know. She was like the skateboarding doll. Very, very cute. I'm assuming Avril Lavigne? Is this an Avril Lavigne reference? Because Skater Boy, but she's like Skater Girl. Maybe I'm wrong. Comment below. I feel like my OMG collectors are going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I love her though. Like the way these pants fit her, so good. And then her shoes, like, oh my God, they're so good. Oh, should she stay out? She could go with the skateboarding boy. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard to decide who gets to stay out and who has to go back into the basement. No! I just realized I'm gonna have to put all these back. I'm gonna have to put like all of these back in here when we're done. Ugh. This one's controversial. She's controversial. I loved this doll when she came out, actually. The fact that she didn't make the cut to be displayed is actually a little shocking, because I loved her just on principle because she was controversial. But this was, I think, Spicy Babe or something. I don't remember her name. But she's in this like full pleather, like I mean, I'm gonna be honest, this is pretty sexy for a doll. There's a lot going on here. But I really like this. I really like this doll a lot. I think she's really cute. And this is like full pleather. She's got pretty cool heels too. Yeah, she's cool. Once again, though, I don't think she's going to make the cut. I think she'll probably go down here. Once we're finished, I'll take a look and see who can I afford to bring out and keep out and who needs to go back away. So I think we're back to the big movie, surprise movie of the movie, right? OMG movie surprise. Cute. She's cute. Yeah. Her hair is like a rock. I remember this one. Like her hair is like, it's like a sculpture. It's pretty cool, actually. But is she cool enough to stay out? I don't know. This, I believe, is another one of the big movie surprise movie dolls, right? Ooh, wait, hold on. Oh, this one might have to stay out. Oh, I hate that I'm doing this. I'm gonna want to keep them all out now. I remember it was such a struggle for me to pick, like, I have a really small display of OMG Dolls out right now, and it was so hard for me to pick who actually made the cut to stay out. And now that I'm looking at them all, I'm just like, oh, there's so many good OMG Dolls. I remember really liking this one because of her face paint. Look at that. She's sort of supposed to be like the graphic, like black and white kind of style doll that kind of looks like a combination of like a comic book and like an old movie wrapped into one. She's so cool. Her shoes are pretty cool too. She might have to stay out. I'm gonna have to keep so many of these dolls out. Her sunglasses are really cool too. Her sunglasses are like also super graphic. Ooh, she's a good one. Oh no. She does actually have some color in her hair. I think it's because some of these dolls, they were intended to be like transformational because they had multiple outfits. Don't remember if she was a part of the movie. She might have been. I did watch that movie a while ago. I was actually thinking, the OMG Surprise, Big Movie Surprise, or whatever the fuck it's called, I was thinking about watching that and doing like a reaction of it. Because I remember watching that movie and being like, what the fuck is happening? So I was considering doing like a video like that one day, maybe. I don't remember if this character was in it. I feel like she was. I have like a vague memory of there being like a country kind of character in it. She's cute. She's not my favorite. She's definitely going back in storage. She's definitely going to be back in storage. I can already tell you that right now. Okay, so this doll, I remember these. If I remember correctly, these are a part of like the dance lights. There's a lot of repetition in OMG, and I can never remember like what anything's called. But this doll, I don't know if this is what I think it is, but I always thought this was supposed to be like a reference to Madonna. Like sort of like neon material girl vibes. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe this is a reference to something completely different, but she always gave me kind of Madonna vibes. These dolls were really cool though, because if you have a Blacklight, they look like completely different. There's all kinds of like hidden words and stuff on them. And I'm not usually a big fan of the surprise gimmick, but I remember the Blacklight portion of the surprises is actually quite nicely done. She also has this cool fan. Oh, I like her a lot too. I'm not usually a big fan of neon colors. Yeah, they do come with little black lights. I have too many lights on right now for that to actually work. This is the one that goes with Sandy. Is his name Tony? Yeah, these two came as a set, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm not a big fan of Grease, so these didn't really do a lot for me. I did think that she was really cute. The OMG boys aren't usually my favorite. I think they kind of share a lot of the same problems as the Rainbow High boys. They tend to be like maybe a little bit too simple. The one OMG boy I really liked was the one that I showed earlier. This one I was never too impressed with. I do like that he has like a little pink streak in his hair though. So this is the two Grease dolls. Is her name like Swags or something? I can't remember her name. She's one of the original 4 OMG dolls. I should have all 4 of them in here somewhere. I don't know why they're all divided up, but she's one of the original 4. I do love her hair. I love micro braids, and I think she's one of the only dolls I have in my entire collection that has like blonde micro braids. She might be the only one. It's not a very popular like hair color for this type of hair, so I think that's really cool. Her pants are also really cool. But otherwise, I don't know. I never really connected with this character that much other than I like her hair. Otherwise, her outfit's kind of like, it's okay. I also don't know who this is supposed to be. That was the other reason I never really connected with this character, is that the other three, I remember that it's like Lady Gaga and Beyonce and then the girl from Paramore. I don't know who that character is supposed to be, like what she's a reference to. All right, speaking of things that are references to pop culture though, this one's kind of iconic. This is the Britney Spears OMG doll. Her little headset's coming off, hold on. Yeah, here she is. This is supposed to be Britney Spears, obviously from the, I believe the Toxic music video where she's like a flight attendant and she does have a little suitcase. I love her. I think she's one of the most iconic OMG dolls. The fact that I put her in storage is kind of insane. Should I take her out? I think she might need to stay out. Her hair's a little crunchy. I clearly never washed her hair out for some reason, but honestly, it kind of looks fine. So that's probably why I never washed it out, because it actually doesn't look half bad considering it's very crunchy. We might have to leave her out. Oh no, I'm creating a problem for myself. I'm not a huge Britney Spears fan, but like I just love when something's like a pop culture, an iconic pop culture reference and it's executed really well, I can't ignore it. I remember wanting this doll for a while and putting her off for so long. For so long I didn't buy her, and then I finally bought her and now she's in storage. That was kind of the case with a lot of these dolls, honestly. There's so many here where like I wanted them for a while and was super patient, waited for them to go on sale, and then like now they're all sit in a bag in storage. I don't remember her name, Boss Lady or something, Miss Boss Lady, Big Boss Money Dollars, I don't remember. OMG doll names are so crazy that it's like trying to remember them, it like scrambles my brain. She's so beautiful though. She also has like glittery lips. Oh, she's so gorgeous. She also, I distinctly remember she has a purse. Oh, there it is. One of my favorite things about her is she has this little clutch purse that looks like a newspaper. That's so cool. I lลove her. I love her. We're not gonna take her out though. There's too many others to consider. I do love her, but somebody has to stay in storage. I don't have the space. I don't have the space for all these dolls. It's just not possible. It's not possible to fit them all out here. Oh my god, no. Everything's falling off of her. I should have pulled up a list of like all the OMG dolls ever so I could just like reference it and like tell you the names. But there's just so many at this point that like I couldn't even begin to tell you. I'm also not that big of an OMG fan. So like that's the other problem, is that like they never really spoke to me the way that a lot of other doll lines did. OMG dolls, truthfully, what it is they're my impulse doll. Like if I'm like at a Walmart and I really want to buy a doll, or like a Target or something, I'll buy an OMG doll. Like if they're on sale, I'll grab one. That's how I got like probably this entire collection of dolls, is that I pretty much bought them impulsively, randomly one day at a Walmart or on Amazon or something. This was one of my least favorites. I remember this was one of the Queen's dolls as well. There's so much going on with her. Like there's something about this like teal mixed with these like pink tones. It's like really like, it's very like Lisa Frank, but like in a bad way. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really work for me. It's not really my vibe. She also has this like weird plastic flower thing in her hair. Like, I'm sure I could restyle her to make her work a little bit more, but the outfit in general is just like, it's not my favorite. She also has these like sunglasses. She was another one of the OMG queens, I think, though, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my god, her poor hair. Her poor hair. She really needs some lovin'. This hat was the one that I found earlier, and I think it goes to this doll. This is one of the winter disco dolls or whatever. She's like winter themed. I remember there was like a winter, was it called the Winter Disco or something? And this was one of the dolls, and there was a bunch of other ones. I think the one that I keep calling Boss Lady, I think she was also one of them. I'm the worst OMG collector. Like, when people like talk to me about OMG dolls, I'm just like, yeah, of course, Miss Lady thing. Yeah, she's my favorite. This is another one of the traveling dolls. She goes with the Britney doll. All the traveling dolls came with a suitcase. I think there's only 3 of them. This one's really cute. Oh, I love her. Oh, I love her. I love everything about her, actually. She has these cool things in her hair, these like beads in her micro braids. Oh, she's so good. She's so good. I also love her outfit, like work. I love this like yellow and this pink. There's always so many colors happening. They always use at least like 3 to 4 different colors in any one outfit. I think that's what makes the OMG dolls so like exciting, but also like kind of jarring to look at. If you look at them for too long, it's like it's like there's just so much going on. I loved this doll. Why did she get put in storage? Oh my God. Oh, it's so difficult to not take her out right. She might have to stay out. She might have to stay out. Okay, this is the, she's one of the making magic movies. Making Magic? Is that The Sims? I don't remember what it was called, but it was a movie related thing. I think she came in one of those big box sets, like one of the ones that's like $100 and it takes like 5 hours to unbox. I'm pretty sure she's one of those dolls. I only ever bought one of those and it was the movie one, so I'm pretty sure that's where she's from. She reminds me of Beyonce in Austin Powers, if anyone remembers that. Foxy Cleopatra, is that who I'm thinking of? Beyonce was in Austin Powers, right? Was that a fever dream or did that actually happen? I can't remember, but that's what she reminds me of, and I love her. She has this like gold, like literally metallic gold textured hair. It's so beautiful. It looks so good in person. Like the camera does not do it justice. The way it like glimmers in the lights and everything is so beautiful. I can't take every one of these dolls out. Like I'm gonna have to make decisions here. I don't know if I can keep her in storage. I don't think I can. I don't think I can keep her in storage. I think we're now up to 6 dolls that I'm taking out of this box. No, 7, because Britney, oh, wait, are you staying out? Hold on. She can't stay out. There's no way. I don't have the space. I don't have the space. This is too much. There's some good ones at the bottom too, I'm just realizing now, and like, I'm gonna have to make decisions. I'm gonna have to make choices. Oh, she's so cool. I forgot about this one entirely. I don't remember this doll's name, but she's kind of like a neon, like bright pink sort of Techno Lady. She has this like weird like space visor. I can't get it back on. This was on her face when I took her out. Now it won't go back on, but she's really cool. This is giving me kind of like Barbie Extra. I wonder if this was like in response to the Barbie Extra dolls. I don't remember when this doll came out, but it's like, this is very Barbie Extra. This is like a Barbie Extra color palette. That is exactly what this is giving me. This was another one of the Queen's dolls. I do remember her. I don't know why she's covering her face like that. It's a little scary. But yeah, she has like the cool braided hair. This is so cool. The way that they did her hair is just like absolutely insane. Like this is how her hair came. I did not do this. That's fucking crazy. That's so cool. But the rest of her outfit is kind of like, she's fine. So I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, all of these are in their original outfits. I don't think I ever redressed any of these, so these are kind of how they come. I might have taken some of their outfit pieces off, because these are surprise dolls, so a lot of times they come with like a bunch of additional outfit pieces, and I'm not always the biggest fan of like every single thing that they put on these, so. A classic. This is the original doll that I keep saying is Beyonce. I'm pretty sure she was supposed to be Beyonce, right? I could be wrong. Her name was like Queen Bee or something, or Queen BB, something like that. She's an icon. She was one of the, I think she might have been one of the first OMG dolls I ever purchased. I saw her in the store and I was like, I cannot resist her. So gorgeous. And I really tried to resist OMG dolls for a while because I don't love their faces. Like, the OMG face mold has never been my favorite. I don't like the big, like, circular eyes. That just doesn't really, I don't connect to it, really. But I love their outfits, and this one in particular, between her hair and her gold outfit, I could not resist her. I think I bought her and one other one that day, and then that's how my OMG, that's how my OMG collection began. We're back in the world of, like, neon dolls that glow in the dark. I don't remember this one's name, but I loved how crazy she was. Like, this is like quintessential OMG. It's like a sort of like triadic sort of neon color palette, like neon green, neon blue, neon pink. It's pretty cool, actually. Her makeup's just crazy. And I love the asymmetrical bangs. It's like the bangs are wrong, but on purpose. Classic MGA, and then she has this on her head. These also, like I said, these are, they glow in the dark, so if you use a blacklight on them, I think there's like secret messages written on her head or something, if I remember correctly. I don't know. These dolls came out so long ago, I couldn't even tell you. I'm sure people know though. I'm sure a lot of people know. The Blacklight dolls were really cool when they came out. I remember being like really excited about them. And then I was like, but like in what world am I ever going to be displaying my dolls in a blacklit room? So it didn't really make any sense for me as like a doll collector, but for kids, I'm sure they were super cool. This was one that I always hated. I always hated her. I don't know why I bought her. I remember buying her and instantly being like, I'm not a big fan of her. I don't know her name. I just always found her like kind of bland. And I was always like, I don't know. I don't know about her. not really a fan. I don't really like the difference in the patterns and everything. It's just kind of like very confusing to me. I don't understand what they were going for. I don't know if this is a reference to something specific, but if it is, I didn't get the reference, and I don't really care for the way that she looks. So this video is going to offend every OMG collector that's ever existed. Okay, we're back to the OMG boys. I don't remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this was the first ever boy doll that they did. Please tell me if I'm incorrect here. I believe he was a part of like the Rock Band set. He's cool. I don't know what he's a reference to either. I'm sure some sort of rock band. Comes with a guitar. The OMG boys are really cute, but like I'm not always the hugest fan of like the cute boy kind of dolls. I usually like the more masculine, muscly boy dolls, so he's fine. His lips are insane. His lips, I mean, like, he looks like a goldfish. His lips are wild. I do appreciate that he's a boy with long hair. That's something we almost never see. I think Rainbow High still has not given us a boy with long hair. They've all had short hair, which is really disappointing. I love when boys have long hair. I think it looks really good. Getting down to the final layer of these dolls. I forgot about this one. I forgot this one even exists. This is like the weird like gymnast doll. This is not usually the kind of doll I usually buy, honestly. She's like one of the sports themed ones. I probably got her on like a really good deal because this is not a doll I would have ever paid full price for. I'm sure I paid less than $15 for this doll because that's the only way I would have purchased this one. It's just so funny though. She's so funny. Like this outfit's insane. Her hair's wild too. These like braided pigtails. It's just so wild. And she has the little like ribbon too. For like ribbon twirling or whatever. I remember really wanting this doll, and then once I got her, I was very disappointed because, like, she's just, like, I could never make her hair look good. I just could not make it look good. But is this Kitty K? Is that her name? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Is that her name? I think she's one of the ones they are going to be remaking her as a fierce doll soon, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the original. She's cute. She always kind of gave me Ariana Grande vibes. She has all these like metallic accessories that fell off. She has like this little headband that gives her little cat ears. She's cute. She's fine. My problem with her was that I could never get her hair to look good. There's something about this hair, whatever this hair is made out of, it just would not look good ever. Like it always was kind of like all over the place. It kind of gives me like tinsel vibes, but it's not tinsel. It's more of like the metallic. I think it's probably nylon, like a metallic nylon. I could be wrong. But I can't get it to look good. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think maybe I need to condition it or something. I'm not sure. But I always wanted to like her, though, because she has this like big, beautiful, like metallic pink robe and everything. Once again, don't know who this is a reference to or who this is supposed to be. But this lady, I have no clue what this character's name is. I don't remember this one at all. Like, I do not remember even buying this doll. This could be anyone. She's pretty, though. I like her blue hair. This could be anyone. I don't even know. Why do I have so many OMG dolls? It's so funny because I don't remember buying so many of them. I must have bought like half of these dolls in a fugue state. Because I remember that I used to buy them like a lot more frequently. Because there was a time when there just wasn't that many dolls on the market, right? Like, I'm sure anyone who was collecting dolls over the past like 5 years or so, you probably remember like, there was a time when like there just wasn't like a ton of dolls out there. And the OMG dolls were kind of there and relevant at the time. So this one, I think I altered her skirt a little bit. Because her skirt, if I remember correctly, her skirt's just like a layered tiered skirt. But I think I altered it so it was in the front of the skirt. It was like a high-low kind of thing. It doesn't look great right now because it was kind of crushed in the box over a year. But yeah, she's cute. I remember liking her a lot. I liked her enough to alter her skirt if I remember correctly. So this was another one of the movie dolls. I think. Was this Miss Direct? She was the director, I think. I remember one of them was named Miss Direct because that's like a drag name. And I believe it was this one, I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong. She's cute. She's very cute. She's one of the ones, I remember that this line, it was like, you could flip her hair or something. And it's like, if her hair's one way, it's pink. And if it's the other way, she's like all black and white. Or something. I don't know. It's not working because you have to actually like sit down and like try to make it work. Like it was a cool idea, but like it didn't really work in practice if I remember correctly. On to this one. Once again, don't know this character's name, but I remember loving her hair. Her hair's so cool. So I don't think I've ever really done any like restyles of OMG hair that I can recall. So I believe all of their hair came the way that I'm showing it to you. And I remember really loving the way they did her hair. Looks super cool. And it's like a beautiful shade of blue. Her outfit, though, not my favorite. That's probably why she went into storage. Because the outfit's kind of like, that's okay. So this is another one of the winter disco dolls. Was this Boss Lady, Lady Boss, or whatever her name was? Is that who this was? I remember really liking her like pink pinstriped suit. That was kind of cute. Oh, wait, hold on. I just said that I never customized anyone's hair, but I think I braided this. I don't think she comes with micro braids. I think I actually braided those into her hair. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if she came like that, but I vaguely remember braiding her hair now that I'm like looking at it. Here she is. Probably my least favorite of the original OMG dolls. Sorry if she's your favorite. She was probably always my least favorite. This was Neonlicious. I just don't love the neon color palette. Like, I'm not a big fan of neon colors. I've said this like 1,000 times. Her hair is also busted right now. She just came out of storage and she was at the bottom. But yeah, she's cute. She's cute. If I remember correctly, she's supposed to be a reference to the lead singer of Paramore with the split orange and pink hair. She's very cute. Oh my God. This is very much like walk of shame hair. Like, this is like, I need to get to my car as quickly as possible before somebody sees me kind of hair. Yeah. Ooh, okay. This is the Marilyn Monroe doll. I remember wanting this one so badly. The big movie set that was like $100 and something. I bought that specifically to get this one doll. And what's sad is that I didn't even like her that much in actual, like in the end when I got them. I liked the other doll a little bit more. But yeah, I just couldn't resist her because she's very clearly supposed to be inspired by like Marilyn Monroe vibes. But I don't know. There's something about the execution of her that didn't really work for me. And I was kind of disappointed too because I paid like $100 for that set. And in the end of the day, like I didn't even really like the doll that I bought it for that much. Okay, I think this is it. I think this is the last one. So this one is a really popular doll. She was the one that came with Spicy Girl or whatever. This was like Sweets, I think was her name. Everybody loved this doll. I remember when this doll came out, everybody was like, she's the best doll that's ever been made or something. And now I feel like nobody talks about her anymore, but she's a really cool doll. She's got a lot of cool details on her. I love her color palette. The sort of like pink and the baby blue. So gorgeous. I don't love her shoes as much. But the outfit, though, is very cute, very cute. Does she stay out? Okay, so here's the hard part. This is where things are going to get difficult. I have absolutely zero space on my OMG shelf right now. Like, none. Like, there's already dolls packed in there. So I think I'm going to move over some, like, Monster High dolls up there. I think I'm going to move some of those over to make space for the OMG dolls. I think that's what we're going to do. So I'll have a little bit more space, which means I can probably keep out all the ones that I wanted to. Okay, so we're going to keep Sweets out. We are keeping Britney. Britney's definitely staying. She's also like an iconic one. I don't remember this doll's name, but she's going to stay as well, for sure. We'll also be keeping out this queen. I think she was my favorite of the OMG queens, so it's only right that she stays out, because the OMG queens was a really detailed, cool line. This one, she's one of my favorites. I don't know why. I'm not usually into like sci-fi or anything, but there's something about her. Like she really like, I don't know. I really just love her. So yeah, she's gonna stay out for sure. Weirdly enough, I don't remember liking the movie Magic or whatever they were called, Making Movies or whatever, whatever they were called. But I do really like this one. This was the one with all the graphic stuff all over her face. Like she looks like a drawing, like a cartoon or something. This one, she's staying. I love her. She's really like giving. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you think she's horrible or whatever, but I just really like, I usually don't like this kind of look either too. I usually like more of the like glam kind of like femme, like high femme looks, but there's something about like how well this outfit fits her. It's just like so like early 2000s like skater girl. I can't resist it. It's like giving like Hot Topic, but like in the best way. And then finally, we're gonna keep one of the boys out. It's gotta be this one. He's too good. I think he's the best boy they've ever done. He might be one of the best boy dolls that MGA has ever produced in general. He's just so good. I really like him a lot. And also, I don't want to take his hat off because he's kind of in a cool position, but his hair is also multicolored. When I look down here, the one that's really speaking to me is this one. Do we keep Sandy out too? Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put everything that it's not coming back out is gonna go back into storage, and then I'm gonna try to make a display out of this, make it look as good as I possibly can, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so in the end, this is what I ended up with. So I basically just decided to move all the Monster High dolls and dedicate this shelf to the OMG dolls for right now. They're still way more crowded in here than I really wanted them to be. But these are the ones I took out of storage, plus some of the ones that I already had out. So some of these are like some of my all-time favorite dolls. Like this is, I think, Moonlight BB, who is one of my favorites. One of the Neon dolls. Candylicious back there is another one of my all-time favorites. So some of these were already out. Miss Celebrate is probably my favorite OMG doll ever. Also, is that Sunshine something? Sunshine Girl or something? So as you can see, I really like pink. So there's sort of a cluster of pink over there. I don't know, they're a little clustered in here, honestly, more than I wanted. And then over here, I moved this is where I used to have my OMG dolls all on this shelf. So those will stay there for now because those are kind of the bigger ones that I just don't have a lot of big shelves I can put those on. But we'll just keep the Monster High dolls here for right now. I'm almost tempted to put some of these in storage, honestly. I don't know. I'd hate to put them all in storage and maybe just keep out a couple. But yeah, so that's what we ended up with. So that's what it'll look like for right now, I think. I really am tempted one day to maybe do like a big like OMG wall. Like I have enough OMG dolls to do like what I have over here. My sort of like rainbow high wall. I think I have enough OMG dolls to achieve like a similar kind of effect with them. I just don't know where I would put them. Like every wall in this room is covered in dolls already, so the idea of giving up like a whole wall worth of space for OMG dolls is kind of a lot right now. All right, but those were the dolls in my basement. There are some other like tubs of like older toys in my basement as well, things from like my childhood, so maybe one day we'll go through those too. All of the dolls in this bin I purchased in like the past like 2 or 3 years. If you guys like this kind of content, please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.